Let's get into some football
Let's
talk.
get some
dude.
nuts of the
Let's
week,
get some
dude.
Football talk. My nuts of the week. I'm going with you.
Wow.
But yeah, go and you go ahead, hit yours.
My nuts of the week is going to go to Tyreek Hill, dude. The guy is just truly proving that he's an unguardable individual. And it could have gone to the entire Miami Dolphins organization, tying a franchise record of 70 points. Like, it truly is. It's unbelievable what they're doing over there. That head coach, they're special right now. And if they can stay healthy, you're looking at something real special in South Florida.
They're vibing out there.
And it changes week to week. Last week I was super high on the Cowboys. They get dummied by the Arizona Cardinals, who you had a great take about how they're flies, they're gnats, and you gotta kill them every single week. And so that's my nuts of the week, dude. But let's talk some ball, man. Where do you want to start?
We could go over the good, the bad, the shit that gets you beat, where we talk about whether over the weekend what we saw that is good, shit that we saw that is bad, and the shit that will get you beat.
Let's do
10 out of 10 times. Do you want to start off with your first good, or would you like me to?
My first good was Dolphins 70 points. My first good's going to go to CJ Stroud, who might be the greatest Ohio State quarterback of all time. 280 yards passing, and I believe it was 2 touchdowns. They played a good ball game. He played a good ball game. He showed some promise in Houston, who I believe is one of the top 3 worst teams in the NFL. Having that showing, if you have a young quarterback, a first-round quarterback at that, what's that?
Especially rookie. I mean,
if you're a rookie quarterback and you just have a singular good game, and win, lose, draw, you just have a good game, you're giving the entire fan base, that entire village, that the people there, that hope. That's like, this guy just showed us the potential of what he could be, and we have a lot to look forward to, regardless of what's going to happen this season. So my good goes to CJ Stroud.
I love that. Then that game, no question. CJ Stroud, it is really cool to see him. Because Houston as an organization in the last, in recent years, like they've been at the bottom, dude.
Yeah.
And for him to be a rookie quarterback doing his thing and getting a tough win against Jacksonville. Jacksonville pissed me off because I was riding them, obviously, to cover, but it's just like, I also think that they're supposed to be one of the best teams in the AFC right now, and they're just not showing that. It's like they had a tough loss against Kansas City. Yeah, Jags. And then you lose to Houston. It's just like, boys, what are we fucking doing?
Yeah, you got to win. You got to win those ones. If you want to be the team that people claimed you to be, you got to win. You got to win those games.
Trevor, like, let's start wheeling and dealing out there. You guys got the talent.
Yeah, because the offense didn't play well against Kansas City, which is, it's impressive because the game was so low scoring with a team like Kansas City. You're like, hey, if their defense is good, the Jags next week are going to put it on Houston and get back on track, and something like that happens. It's like, yo, that's wild. And really shakes up the AFC South, because we saw what happened with the Colts too. But go ahead, who's your nuts?
My good is the Bills. I think the Bills, after a tough start that very first week, there was a lot of headlines and questioning, going into last week. Whenever they played the Raiders, they took care of business. And then this week at Washington and beating them by like 30 points and holding that offense to 3 points alone. It's just like, I think the Bills are back on track right now. Like a tough squad, which is going to be awesome in the AFC North or the AFC East.
AFC East. Wait.
Right? Bills. Yeah, Bills, Dolphins.
Yeah.
Patriots are, they're going to be tough always. And, Jets, you still never know.
Jets, you kind of know now. The Patriots just beat the Jets. Zach Wilson, dude, it's tough because they have such a star-studded cast everywhere else.
Yeah.
They just need a guy, and there's talk about them bringing a quarterback in, and it's like, what are you going to do? Because Rodgers is talking about coming back in mid-January or whatever, talking about going on another ayahuasca trip and just getting wild and going to come back and like do this amazing thing. I don't know if they make the playoffs.
Their team's starting to like implode. They're yelling at each other and stuff on the sideline and stuff.
So good, man. That's so tough.
Especially the offseason that they had. That does suck. If you are going to salvage and you're still like we got to win, I think you got to look at replacing Zach.
Yeah, but if you replace Zach, you got to figure out somebody that's good enough to replace Zach, but that's not going to cost you a whole lot of money, because once Aaron comes back,
it's Aaron's.
Given the fact that he's going to stay, like someone brought up a comment like, hey, trade for Kirk Cousins. That's a terrible idea. And here's why it's a terrible idea. When you bring Kirk Cousins in, yes, the Jets now are like one of those teams that's like, yo, are they going to win it? Could they actually win it because they have the team around it? Kirk can sling it. The defense is really good. You get that energy. But now Aaron comes back and you have 2 guys who are making so much money that you're like, what do you do? Do you trade Kirk now for probably a lesser value because they have to trade, so that now the game of chess comes into play, or do you get rid of Aaron because Aaron's got only a couple more years left, Kirk's got a longer shelf life, and so it's like you got to get someone who's obviously better than Zach Wilson, but not quite of the caliber that those top two tiers.
Like you're trading it all to get a piece that you're only going to use for this year.
And it's tough because the AFC East, you said it's a great friend. It's a great division because we talked about Miami already. We talked about you're good to the Bills. The Patriots, they're going to be in it because they have such good coaching staff and their defense plays really well and hopefully they control the clock. But like, if you have two good teams, I mean, one's going to win the division. The other one's probably going to make the playoffs. Like you're going to be out on that.
Bills and Jets might be.
Huh?
Bills and Jets might be
Bills and Miami.
Oh, yeah, Bills and Dolphins.
Yeah.
Might be the best two teams in the AFC right now.
Yeah. I mean, who else is in there?
The Chiefs.
Yeah.
But, I mean, but they dummied the Bears. Like, you got to take that one with a grain of salt.
I know, but even in
Bears
the AFC...
No, Bears are dead.
Like, look at the AFC West. Chargers, I mean, they get their first win.
They're starting to talk about...
And that's a good ball club. We were talking about contenders in the offseason, so everybody's talking about the Chargers.
Mm-hmm.
The Raiders are a good ball club. The record doesn't reflect it. The Raiders are a damn good ball club. Browns showed themselves a little bit. I don't know if they're going to be that. Ravens, Bengals are obviously 0-2. I think they lose. I think they lose this weekend too. I think the Bengals start 0-3 this year.
Did you all see the Chargers Vikings like that last drive of the game?
I did not.
I saw.
Did you see what the Chargers did?
No, but I saw that Kirko hit it through an interception.
Well, no, the Chargers had there was like 2 or 3 minutes left. Chargers like were up obviously, and they were like they went for it on 4th down on their own 35.
Staley
got stuffed, and now the Vikings have the ball on like the Chargers 35, and all they need is a touchdown. Now Kirk threw an interception, but I was thinking to myself watching it like how can you make this decision right now? The Vikings had, I think, 1 timeout. You punt it, they have to go the entire field to score a touchdown. They don't need a field goal; they need a touchdown. Like if you make that 4th down decision, you don't trust your defense to stop the Vikings. Like,
but it's also Staley's got the history of just going for it on 4th down all the time.
I agree, but
back to if you're on your 35,
that's a dumb move.
What's a dumber move for you? That or the Raiders? That or the Raiders field goal?
I didn't see the Raiders.
I mean, was it 3 minutes 45 seconds left? Down by 8.
So part of my bad is kicking a field goal down 8 with under 3 minutes left when you're inside the, I believe, 10-yard line. You're in the red zone.
Yeah, that's one of my bads too. But do you have any more goods?
Yeah, I can rattle them off.
Yeah. Did you just do one? You just went. So
weekend at Notre Dame, bet the bus. Did not lose any money. We went 4-0-1 over the weekend. Notre Dame being the only push. Nebraska run defense is number 2 in the all Power 5 conferences. Nebraska's rush offense is 2 in yards per game. And Nebraska's defense is 6 in sacks. That's my good. Just, now we can get into the bad.
No, my good.
What list did you
have? Good. Colts upsetting the Ravens. That's a...
Hey, Minshew.
I know you did call that. You did call that. I had a massive redemption with Vince Vaughn. Will's Rocky speech at 2 a.m. on Friday night. That's the good. That's the shit. That's how you catch dubs with the boys. And the Titans, knowing that they're probably going to bounce back this week after a loss like that, they always catch a win.
That's
so
the good.
Shout out to them. Oh. Shout out to them. Probably going to make a big comeback this upcoming week. Let's get to the bad. My bad. My bad.
Because there's still a shit that gets you beat. Then.
Yeah. My bad. Going back to Baltimore and the Colts, the no call versus Zay Flowers with EJ Speed. Guy draped all over him. They were about to get into an even closer field goal range with 3 minutes and 49 seconds left. That's ridiculous. The guy that said he would be in the league if the league could only have people that were 5'8" or under during the weekend. That shit's the fucking bad, dude. Notre Dame's fan base rolling over before the game. I kind of touched about it, how like Ohio State fans were pretty loud and a little bit nasty. Notre Dame fans were just like,
they didn't want to match the energy.
They weren't trying to match the energy. That is the bad. You have to do a little bit better. And the bad also being a fan of a team and not having any gear when you're at one of their games. That's my bad.
My bad was, I said it a minute ago, but kicking a field goal down 8 with under 3 minutes left. That's the Raiders. The Cowboys talking all that shit. Michael Parsons talk about, I'm hunting you next weekend or whatever, and then, losing. Mitch, as an Ohio State fan, you just kind of touched on it, but I am directly calling him out. He fucking sucks as an Ohio State fan. Swifties in the NFL.
Swifties in the NFL.
Do we want to unpack any of that?
I don't think there's anything to unpack, is there?
I mean, we did have a video when I was asking Frank, what does this look like? I mean, when you talk about yourself as an Ohio State fan, that being your favorite college, we did have a nice come to Jesus moment because Mitch was not wearing any Ohio State gear or any red, like not even color. Dark, like a maroon red. You had Bussin colors on.
I'm not going to wear this. This is like the only red shirt that I have.
If that's the only red shirt, you should have been wearing that over the weekend.
Chiefs.
So what? You take tape, you put it over, and you put an O. If you're trying to manufacture,
white tape, half inch.
Yeah, if you're trying to manufacture something, you have to do it as a fan. Like, that is exactly why you would be considered a fair weather fan and not an all-in fan, because I personally think that is bullshit. That you're claiming to be such an Ohio State fan from Pennsylvania, by the way, and you also like Penn State. That and you also, Philly's not your favorite. The Kansas City Chiefs are. That plays directly in to being like a Cowboys, Yankees front runner, dude. Front runner. Because if you want to be in the trenches, you got to be in the trenches with your squad, and you weren't.
Okay, maybe I wasn't in the trenches with Ohio State because they haven't been in the trenches since I've been a fan, which was like 06.
It just shows that you're just like, you're a fucking country clubber.
For the Chiefs, I have jerseys of Priest Holmes, Jamal Charles, Larry Johnson. So I'm a Chiefs fan through and
Mitch,
through, but
as a Ohio State fan, is the bad.
When it gets to an Ohio State fan, yes, it's bad. I don't have any gear. I've been fucking shopping and shit this morning to make sure I can fix that. And you and I were talking after the game. You saw how much it was bothering me because you're like, bro, like I see you, like I know you're a fan, but like you just.
I know that you care, and I know that you are of the cloth of foxhole type guy. Foxhole type cat, you can take criticism, you can do all this stuff. And I knew that giving you that talking to was going to hurt you. And you were going to immediately start shopping because you thought to yourself, instead of Will's attacking me, you thought to myself, yeah, he's fucking right. I got to pick my shit up.
That says a whole lot about you.
It does.
This says a whole lot about your character, Mitch.
No doubt. And I know I need to change. I need to fix it.
Because Mitch goes, I do have an AJ Hawk jersey in Pennsylvania at my family with home. Like his dad's literally saying, I'm going to send you that jersey overnight. Like I knew he would text his parents right away because he's like, I have stuff in Pennsylvania. And I'm like, that shit should have been shipped here overnight last week.
It's also like old stuff, so it wouldn't have fit me anymore. But I agree. I'm putting my hand up. I need to be better.
You got to love the accountability.